Hi and welcome to this edition of Out of the Box. My name is Paul. Today we're going to have a look at what is in this box. This is surprisingly smaller than I was expecting it to be. This is the Ubiquiti airCube. So there are two models of it. They look exactly the same. They have slightly different features. So there is the ACB-ISP, which is what we're going to have a look at today. And there is the ACB-AC. The main difference is that the ISP model here only supports up to wireless protocol N, so theoretically 600 megabits a second, whereas the ACB-AC model actually supports the wireless AC standard, which I think can get to 1.2 gigabits a second. But for a home environment, 600 meg is probably going to be much faster than your broadband connection anyway, or your wireless connection. But we can talk about that a little bit in a more. So let's have a look at what you get in the box, which there is, to be fair, not a lot. There is your Get Starting Guide. There we go. With the basics in there. You may not even open that up. But the unit itself, we'll have a little bit of a look at here. So nice little logo on the front. There we go. I'm going to turn that around, and that's probably the features we're interested in, which we'll talk about in a moment. And then just turn that around for the bottom there, and you'll see the reset right in the middle. So what's the idea of this? The idea for this is for those people who are providing a WISP, a wireless internet service provision. So this device, or maybe even going to work if you've got a point-to-point connection. So this device is going to provide you your Wi-Fi in your house, or maybe your granny flat, something like that. So this is going to sit on a shelf. This is going to be your little router, if you like. And connected to this is going to be your wireless receiver. Maybe that's a nano station, a nano beam, a power beam. Something along those lines that are connecting to a building or a location that is remote to where you are. This is a PoE powered device. As you notice, there wasn't anything else in the box, so you can power it by PoE or I think it's by micro USB. The easiest option is probably by PoE. The nice thing about this, you obviously got to remember it's 24 volts PoE passive. You're going to put PoE in power in your first port here, but out of your second port, you're also going to get 24 volts PoE. This is great because all of the Ubiquiti AirMax range run on 24 volts. So one device sitting on your shelf, power into this, Ethernet cable out through the ceiling out to the outside of your property, and now you can power your nano station, your nano beam, your light beam, your power beam, whatever you need to get your signal, receive the signal from the other end. So this makes a great little setup to put in your granny flat, your shed, and it's incredibly cost effective. Here in Australia, these are less than like $100 each. So let me just go through again what you've got in the in there. You have 4 ports, so you have a lovely little 4-port switch. You've got PoE in and you've got PoE out. So you've got a couple of extra switch ports so you can plug a computer directly into it. You've got wireless standard protocol N on here, so you've got plenty of Wi-Fi. You've got power out to your other Ubiquiti product. And now with a point-to-point connection, you have easily gained wireless with very little messing around, very few cables at your remote location. So hopefully that's been useful to have a look at that. This is the Ubiquiti airCube, so the ACB. This one here is the ISP model. Just to remember, if you're installing this, this is not controlled by Unify, part of the Ubiquiti Unify range. This is controlled by UISP, so Ubiquiti Internet Service Provider. The QR code on the bottom there helps you scan it and put into that. There is a mobile app for it, or you can install the software on your computer to still manage it, or you can log in with a web browser and set it up that way round. So hopefully that's been useful. Do head on over to our YouTube channel. Loads more box openings on wireless networking and firewall devices, how to set up a point-to-point, for instance, how to configure a unified network, how to even configure a point-to-point connection as well. So do head on over there, subscribe and stay up to date.